All right, CNMI, how about that? Got a little shaker going on. By the way, I have no idea what that text is on there. Let's get that out of the way. Although it's going to look a little funky. And it's a little bright, you think, because of the sunset. But let's get you all caught up, guys. So we had a earthquake here in Saipan, and it was not very far away. We just got the confirmation. In fact, we're going to give Landon a call from the National Weather Service and get that squared away for you. So just give us 1 sec. We were just on the other line with him and want to get him on here. We were scouring the internet to try to find exactly where that was, but we're dialing him up right now. Hold on, let's turn the music off. Landon, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. I'm going to move some things around because I got to do some multiple screens with you. Oh, this actually might work because we had that little shaker. The first thing I did, of course, I call the guy who's in touch with everything Earth related. I call Landon Adlet from Guam. And I'll tell you what, man, you didn't feel it down there.
Did not feel it down here. It's possible it was likely felt in Rota. Probably if you were stationary on Guam, you probably felt it here with the 5.3 is showing what it was. So definitely people across the islands would have felt that. Trying to get my camera set. There we go. But yeah, 5.3, this is coming in just from the USGS. That was about 43 kilometers south of Saipan. So that was a pretty good shaker up there.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of went in and kind of hit real quick. It was like a whomp, and then it felt like a little something just before it. Thought maybe it was like a big truck went by or something. They've been doing a lot of road construction here for a while. And then all of a sudden the whomp, and I'm like, yeah, and then a little bit more, and then it kind of rumbled away. And then straight to the interwebs to find out what's going on.
Yep, and that's how it's going to feel, especially with these typical small quakes here. We get them from time to time, and so 5.3 right there in the heart of the CNMI, that's a pretty good shake. And so it looks like some shake reports are coming in from across Saipan and several coming from Guam. And so it was just enough to be felt on the Mercalli scale, and that's what it feels like. So we're looking at Mercalli 4 and maybe a borderline Mercalli 5, which is very light to light shaking for Guam. It's very light to weak. And so, yeah, if you're very still, very stationary, sitting on the couch and not moving, you probably would have felt it on Guam, more so on Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. Even if you're walking, you probably might have heard something as it was shaking with that initial bump.
Well, we definitely could feel it, and I got phone calls right away, and people messaging each other left and right. I mean, something like this, 5.3, probably not going to be any damage at all anywhere. But
correct, likely no damage, but you know, it's every little shake might exacerbate a little crack in your house or something everywhere. Our houses are built reinforced concrete, and so every time you move it or shift it, it might take a little bit of your wall cracks might extend a couple inches, or you might notice something. But other than that, no significant damage. As far as a tsunami threat, probably not a tsunami threat from this one. These likely are just small rumbles and not displacing a lot of water. So tsunami looks like it's going to be a non-event for this one.
Yeah, well, that's just fantastic for sure.
Yes.
And we were reaching out to the folks to ask them if they felt it in Saipan. And again, there's folks all around who definitely felt it. So this one, we check it out. So we go, when it comes to weather, we go to National Weather Service. When it comes to things moving and shaking, we both started racing to the USGS site. And this was it.
Yeah, it takes about on average, about 8 to 15 minutes for the earthquakes to register on USGS to get that triangulation on where it occurred and how deep it occurred into the Earth's surface. And so that was right about almost about 20 minutes for it to pop up on the USGS. And that's typical for this region of the world where there's just so few sensors. And so we'll probably get a standard statement from PTWC once some information is gathered, and they'll say new tsunami threat to the region.
You got a bunch of folks in the comments saying hi to you. Lorenzo De Leongro saying he definitely felt it. Kay Duane is weighing in. She's with all caps. Hi, Landon. Your fan club is making its way in.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it was all of a sudden, again, with all the road work that we've had out here, we've had the big compactors going through. So we've had some shaking in the building. I felt like I lived in California because of how often this building was shaking. But this one definitely was a little cut above. So this one is just a little southeast of us. And
so you look at the map, USGS, and it'll be one of the top ones up there until another earthquake occurs somewhere around the globe. But it's somewhere just southwest of the southern tip of Saipan. So if you think back to October 2023, when we had Typhoon Balawan move between Rota and Tinian, that's about where this quake occurred, halfway between Rota and Tinian.
Wow, we got Kara Peterson said, yeah, I felt it here in Gualo Rai. I'm in the pool, felt the rumble, and then the water sloshed around. You know, after seeing what happened in Bangkok, I could. There's a lot of pools that definitely caught an effect. Connie Park Baza weighs in saying that she felt it as well. Yeah, a lot of folks around Saipan definitely got shook a little bit, but we've had worse for sure.
Yes, yeah, we've had worse, and I think it's always a great reminder when we have these little earthquakes to think about earthquake preparedness, earthquake safety, and what to do in case of an event. Because with typhoons, we get days of warning. We have days of time to communicate, take action, and to make sure people are ready and prepared. But for earthquakes, it's a completely different story where there's little or no warning. So you're either ready or you're not. And so it's always great to have standard items on standby, whether it's bottled water, some non-perishable canned goods and stuff, just to keep it on hand in case there's a disaster. And so we are in the Pacific Ring of Fire, and things can happen, whether it's earthquake locally in the trench or somewhere nearby, or a volcano erupts. Luckily, all the volcanoes are just north of Saipan or underwater somewhere in the CNMI. So, this is just our regional reminder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the thing is that we got some messages from folks saying that they felt it in Asgono, up by the airport. And this one from D. Ray just saying, yes, we heard a loud noise first, and then we felt it.
Yeah, and that'll definitely happen. You hear those precursor waves going through the surface, and it travels. So you have two different waves. One travels ahead of and much faster through the rock. And so there's the P wave and the S wave, the primary and the secondary. And so it's a lot of great science, especially reading up on earthquakes, how they happen, and the different waves and motions you feel. And so the biggest one we're most concerned about is the earthquake going like that and the surface moving side by side, or is it going like that? And usually the large ones like this, especially when underwater, they could displace a lot of water and cause problems for tsunami. But of course, this was a very small earthquake, not a threat, just a standard one that we feel up here through the CNMI from time to time.
Tobot weighed in saying he choked on his beer. That's great. Rens Del Paz saying, hey, I'm on the second floor of Middle Road and it shook for like 5 seconds. A lot of folks on the other initial post weighing in here as well, saying last time they felt that was in Oahu of 2006. Vincent saying, I thought someone was shaking my car. Caroline Elaine was saying, yeah, I was lying on the floor and felt it wobble for like 4 seconds. And that's what we're hearing, 4 to 5 seconds. John Williams just being ridiculous, saying it was good to know it was a quake. I thought it was tripping something. That's great. A few other words that are coming in great. Folks in Fenicisu felt that. And folks all around Saipan, again, weighing in, saying that they've felt it in different spots. And Tobot's coming in and saying, hey, the Western Pacific is pretty active right now.
That's a great transition right there, Tobot. So, yeah, we've had a lot of earthquakes. I think it was just a week and a half ago, we had that large earthquake in Myanmar where it caused significant damage, not just in Myanmar, but also in Bangkok. And so that skyscraper collapsed over there in the city. And of course, I think there were some engineering and structural issues with that building. I'm not going to say anything beyond that. But there was also Tonga had a large earthquake a couple days later. We also had one several days ago in Papua New Guinea, a significant earthquake there, I think a 6.9. But we've had a lot of earthquakes, a lot of activity across the Pacific. And so when we get these little bumps, it's great to mark the occasion by feeling it, talking about it, but take that conversation a little bit farther with your friends, your family, and your colleagues at work. What is your plan? And so, some tips to keep in mind is from time to time, meet with your household members to discuss the dangers and possible emergency events, including fire, severe weather, hazardous spills, and earthquakes, and discuss how you and your family will respond to each possible emergency. If you're scattered in multiple different locations, how are you going to get back together, especially if roads are damaged or impassable, or there's widespread panic? Discuss what you're going to do in case of power outages and personal injuries. Make sure your batteries, your phones are charging. As long as you have power, we've got these brownouts on the islands on Guam. We're talking about load shedding sometimes in the afternoons, and it's always bad when you didn't charge your phone or your computers and you're sitting in the dark for several hours. But have a general plan. Know how you're going to get in touch with family members and friends, and to where to assemble if y'all are split up. So all these things, think about it, because the worst time to think about a plan is after an event's happened.
There you go. Well, luckily we got a nice light one of anything that could happen. So it's a little reminder. Have your go box ready to go.
Yes. And that's what I did when I lived in Oklahoma. I lived there 5 weeks before I came over to Guam 15 years ago. And I was always terrified of tornadoes because, I mean, one day your house is there, the next day everything you've worked for is gone in a matter of minutes. And so, personally, me growing up in the Outer Banks, I liked hurricanes better than tornadoes. But of course, people in Oklahoma looked at me and they can't imagine how I could stand living over here where we have typhoons. But, it's a matter of what you're used to. But there's things we can do. And you plan for that disaster, have your go kit, know what you're going to put into it, all your valuable items. And if you need to get up and go real quick, it's ready to go. So think about these things and be ready in a moment's notice.
Well, we are. I'll tell you what. I'm not used to broadcasting at this time. I don't know. You can't see it because I have the other camera turned off, but it is just blaring bright. The guys who are watching on the camera from Saipan got to be blinded behind me.
I can sympathize with that because I'm sitting over here with the wall blocking me because the sun is blaring into my kitchen window.
Yep. Well, man. Well, hey, thanks for the call in a flash, as it happened. Really appreciate it. And the folks out here.
Anytime.
Yeah, and the folks out here really appreciate it too. I mean, you're our go-to for this kind of stuff, and and you're there just like that. Snap a finger.
Yep.
Landon is there. You're like a
Modern
good neighbor.
technology.
All right. Well. Just about 6:00 p.m., so I'll let you go and enjoy your evening activities. Thanks, and we'll talk to you in a couple of days to get caught up on weather.
Yep, we'll see you Thursday morning. I'll be going into the office for the night rotation, so it's a matter of night operational shifts from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Then I'll be doing some daytime meetings and stuff with my normal job duties. So it's going to be kind of a weird week for me, but it's going to be a long one. So we'll see. We'll be there on Thursday.
Well, that's great. All right. Well, hey, thanks so much, and we will talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Have
take
a good
care.
Afternoon.
All right. That's Landon Aylett coming in clutch as we talked about the old hurricane that was not a hurricane. There was an earthquake that just kind of whipped through here. And holy smokes. I mean, that was not expected at all. We ended up getting rumbled around a little bit. So now we know what the deal is. 5.3. It was southeast of us and not too far away. It says 43 kilometers away. You do your basic math. You figure 5K is about 3 miles, right? I mean, it's not exact. It's 3.1. But you figure 5K is 3 miles. You do the math based on that ratio. You find out where we are. So if it's 40, that's like times 8, right? So 8 times 5. So you do 3 times 8 on that one. So like 24 miles away. Call it like 26 with the 43. So 26 miles away, and it was pretty shallow. It was only about 6 miles deep. So that's what we had, and now you know. All right. If you've got any other questions about it, we're going to go ahead and post the stuff on here. Let's see. You're looking at now. Well, I'm going to find out for spreadsheets, for application developers, for Google Earth. I'm going to end up screen grabbing this, and I'll post it for you guys. But that's what we got. That's what happened. If you felt the shaking, that's what it was. If you didn't feel it, well, it's probably because you were driving. I mean, it didn't last very long. The biggest part of the shake, maybe 5 seconds or so. So, all right, guys, we'll be back again tomorrow morning. Good morning, Marianas, right here at 7 o'clock. And I'm sure we're going to talk about this a little bit. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and have a great night. Take care.